Hi, I'm Shari.
And I'm Hutch.
Welcome to our ride. This is a 1957 Sportcraft 15-foot travel trailer that we lovingly refer to as Hamlet. Now, it's a vintage, not a retro, so this is the 65-year-old real deal.
Let's go check them out. We've been full-time RVing in our little hamlet since the fall of 2012. But we can't tell you who we are now without telling you a little bit about where we were.
So let's take you back to the autumn of 2010, two younger versions of ourselves who seemed to have it all by most standards. We had 2 careers, a 2-story home in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, 2 cars, 2 weeks of vacation a year. But honestly, after 10 years, that stuff that we own started owning us, and life became too stressful. We were working too much, not sleeping enough, and kind of slowly slipping away from each other.
So Shari comes up with a plan. She's like, hey Hutch, I have an idea. Let's rent out our house, buy an RV, travel the continent, and see all the national parks that we can. And I'm like, who's gonna disagree with that? I'm like, I love it. Let's do it. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, maybe let's do it someday. Well, her someday was quickly approaching because about 6 weeks later, she had a particularly frustrating day at work. And she comes home and she buys this RV on eBay. And I wasn't even home yet, and I'm come home and I'm tired, and from the bedroom I hear, "Promise me you won't be mad."
It's true.
Her message was, "I'm leaving, you're invited."
Now, Hamlet didn't look anything like this when we bought him in 2010, and that purchase, it kicked off about 18 months of crazy activity, including a complete restoration. And we set September 3rd, 2012, which was our 12th wedding anniversary, as our launch date. And we were going to make that come hell or high water. And if you had asked us that we would be talking to you from Alaska 10 years later, we would have thought you were crazy, but we are still loving it.
And in that last 10 years, we've paddled and cycled and hiked our way across all US 50 states. We've been to 10 Canadian provinces, and we've reconnected with friends and family. We've made new friends and new community everywhere we go. It has been a trip. So before we were RVers, we were tent campers. So when we started looking for a model, it was like, what is the closest thing to a tent that you can get on wheels? And we just fell in love with the look of these vintage canned ham campers. They were easy to tow, easy to park, easy on the gas mileage, and really easy to do all the remodeling work ourselves, which took us about 1.5 years of labor. We spent total for the rig and materials about $5,500, but we went way over on labor, if you know what I mean. We wanted something that was just easy and simple to use, but would keep us out of the weather. And that was something else that we could run 100% on solar. It's been a great rig.
So let's show you the inside of Hamlet. Why don't you come on in? Now, we absolutely love having a full-time dinette because this is a multifunctional area for us. It is not only where we eat, but it's also our office. It's our movie couch, stretching couch, as well as our guest room, because this folds down into a bed. We have plenty of storage up top for drinkware and our dishes, as well as our tiny library right here. And then when we rebuilt these dinette seats during the renovation phase, we put in some baskets underneath, and that has greatly enhanced our storage capacity. So we can not only store stuff in the baskets, but behind them. And one of the things that we have underneath here is the brains for our solar powered system. So the battery and the inverter running our 200 watts on the roof plus our 100 watt portable panel. It allows us to live, work, and play from wherever we are, as well as run our mobile business, which is called Freedom in a Can.
So welcome to our inside, tiny but oh so efficient kitchen. This is where we cook delicious vegetarian gourmet meals by these two foodies on the move. In fact, one of our favorite things to do is to cook a meal that will pair excellently with a wine we've purchased from a Harvest Host location. love it. But everything here is efficient. Everything has its space. We have enough storage for food and real cookware to be able to outfit ourselves between 10 and 12 days without having to go back to the grocery store. The gas 2-burner propane stove works excellently. We think it's from the 1960s. We got it from a friend when we left. The sink, tiny, but it actually stores our sink bins, which help expand our sink capacity while we're doing dishes. Now here's the deal about working in a small kitchen like this. The chef is here and the sous chef is over in the dinette area. And there's not a lot of mixing back and forth. You just can't do that. You gotta maintain your position, hold your position, and get the job done.
And the best part, the comfy bed. Now, we used to have a king-size bed in our previous home. This is a 3/4 bed. We call it a snuggle bed, and it is the most comfortable bed we have ever owned. We sleep so well here in Hamlet. We've also got room up top for clothing, and then some storage bins underneath, similar to what's under the dinette, which really increases our storage capacity. So you may have noticed a theme here, but storage is key. So in 72 square feet and 10 years on the road, you really learn how to maximize your storage. So in our closet here, when we first got Hamlet, all it had was one high bar way up here, nothing else, and we weren't planning on bringing business suits or evening gowns, so we reconfigured it with a bunch of shelves, and it's become much more useful, and then added this little shoe pocket on the back of the door for additional storage. It is very useful.
So we inevitably get the question, what do you do about a bathroom? Frankly, in a space this small, a bathroom would take up all the usable space, so we outsource that at campgrounds, porta-johns, and when we are boondocking, we have a portable toilet that Shari will discuss in a minute. But remember, we came to this life as tent campers, so the permanent bed, the indoor kitchen, the dinette where we can work and eat and live all out of the weather, it's a huge upgrade for us.
So regarding storage, we also use every last square inch of our tow vehicle, which is a 2015 Nissan Frontier. It's essentially our garage. So let's show you what we've got stored back here. So we've got everything from our bike packing gear, backpacking gear, sea kayaking gear, as well as shoes, off-season clothing, our outdoor cooking stuff, chairs, table, tools, solar panel, a portable toilet, extra water and fuel, a grill, and most importantly probably our IceCo 12-volt refrigerator, which is charged via an auxiliary battery, which is in turn charged by the alternator of our truck while we're driving.
Now we just love being and cooking outside, and we use the heck out of our Otzi grill and Dutch oven. We have 2 Kijaro dual lock folding camp chairs, as well as a folding camp table. We also have a Gobi heated chair for those cold, chilly nights around the campfire, which I sometimes get to use. And of course, I love pulling out the acoustic guitar for the evening's entertainment. Now, when we're set up for a season, we like to put out our solar lanterns and our bug tent. And while we don't put the twinkly lights out too often, we do love to decorate for the holidays. So with the sea kayaks taking up all the space on top of the truck, we needed another solution for our bikes. So the one thing that we had someone else do on our trailer during the remodel was install this receiver for a hitch-mounted bike rack. The great thing about this is we can park the camper at the campground and remove this, put it on the back of the truck, take our bikes to wherever we might want to go for a ride. So thanks for joining us.
We'll see you on the road.
Bye-bye.